Well folks, welcome back to the workshop. It's time for a golden oldie repair. This is an old Makita sander, and she is old. 1995. This is the 9045N, one of the best half sheet sanders ever made. These here were a proper workhorse, and this one, 30 years old, hopefully still running and can be repaired. We'll soon see. Let's see what she's left on for. These things here, no joke, were proper workhorses. I mean, look at the base in this thing. Look at the bow in that. That's a solid aluminium base, not a wee light piece of tin. And that's actually bowed. This one, boys, working hard, pressing down and leaning on it. Over time it starts to bend and bow like that there. That's how much work this thing's probably done. Right. See what's wrong with it and see if it can be fixed. What do you reckon? Motor rubbing or bearings? Won't be this thing. I'm going to say bearings. Normally is. Not unusual for these to run through a few different sets of bearings in their lifetime. And 30 years old, I'm sure it's due a new set. Right. I'll get on and see if we can get it fixed up. First off, all these wee pieces off for the pipper clamps. It's just a wee screw and piece of plastic to help you push the clamps. And we'll just take off the motor for now. Let's see what it's like. Normally it's not the motor bearings, the actual armature bearings. Brushes are okay too. Normally it's the bearings and the base. That's what's getting the bulk of the sawdust. Generally when you're doing them, you just replace them all anyway. So we'll see what this one needs. That's not good, but it's not the bad one. Right, definitely something tight anyway. Now we have to take off these two halves. So there's this little flap underneath. There's foam. Peel that back. It's stuck down, so it is. Let's say this has been stuck down again or redone. Try to take it off without tearing it, so we can actually put it back on again if need be. It's only foam backing, so if it doesn't stick, you can just use a bit of double-sided sticky tape. Under here there's a little screw. This here is actually a bearing cover as well. That also needs to come off. That's looking like the main culprit. Hold your armature, not the fan. That's not good. Everything's just falling apart. And the screw's not coming out. Have to try that a different way. We'll take off the two halves here first. These two halves are held on by these bellows. Just a big long screw on a clamp holding them together. Take that one out too. Release the hole on them. Don't know if this will work or not. Sometimes this rubber can stick tight to the frame. If you get it freed out, you can sometimes prise it out and maybe unhook the belt, connecting the two. But if that doesn't work, I'm going to have to try and get that bearing out, or somehow get the screw out. Nah, it's not going to work. I have to get this out. Oh, nice one. I actually gripped the head. Destroyed it by drilling it out, but it eventually gripped it anyway and unscrewed it. Now they can come apart a lot easier. That's the main bad one. That's one that does normally go. I'd imagine just about everything else is gone too. By the looks of it, even the belt. That's what all this is here. This rubber from this belt is all worn away. And that's why. Because this bearing failed completely, jammed up this pulley, so this locked the belt. The motor just kept on spinning, burning through the belt. So that also now needs to be replaced. That pulley should just pull out as well. That's a bit tight. There we go. Keyway as well. Now that one's not as bad, but we will still change it. Blow out some of this rubber so the place doesn't get smoked out. Flame's very low, it must be low on gas. Still won't come out. There we go. Doesn't look too bad, but it is actually starting to go. And then this one here, this pulley is just threaded on. Grip that without damaging it. That's what pliers like this here comes in very handy for. These are wee haw ones, but they're a flat face, a flat jaw on them, no teeth. If you're grabbing something like a pulley like this here, you're not destroying it. If you're using pliers with jaws on it with teeth, it'll eat in, cut onto the aluminium. Look at that, no damage. Just tap that out. That's gone. And that's gone. So we're replacing every one of the bearings. You could also replace this base as well if you wanted, but I don't think this man needs it. He hasn't mentioned anything about it anyway, so we'll leave that as is. And the other thing is just knock out this bearing. It's rusty using the blowtorch when it's this low in gas. See the way the head's starting to smoke low. Flames that low, it's putting all the heat into the brass head, which is what you don't want, because these are an electric start. There's a cable running up and it gives a spark at the very end. If this gets too hot like it is now, it'll melt the cable and short it out against the side and you'll lose your spark, your ignition. So when it gets that low, change the gas, otherwise you're going to be changing your blowtorch. Now, what have we got? These are all NSKs, might be the original ones actually. Japanese NSK bearing. So it's a 6200. 62003. This will probably be a 608. 608, yep. And where is the other one? That one's a 602. Right, we'll give us a wee clean out as well. We'll get new bearings. Right, that's it clean. That off. 6002 here. A little bit of grease into that needle bearing there. push that on. Shouldn't be too tight. Those are two longer countersunk bolts. Screw this plate on. That's one. I'll stick the other one on here. Also just give this a quick clean. Just seems to be stuff stuck underneath it. Not essential, but I may as well clean it while we run this far. Before we fit that, also to change this one. Should just press on. Shouldn't be too tight. Fit that pulley. Doesn't have to be too tight. It'll self-tighten anyway once she's running. Doesn't want to squeeze on. Change us. Just change us before we do any damage. Much better. Nice one. Right, let that cool so it doesn't fall off again. Get the last one on. It's not actually that tight. Leave that on there. Make a start on the clamps. So you got 2 holes on this here. So one's going to go this way and one's going to go that way. Just make sure the 2 screws are down here. Now next, we need a belt. Now this is actually the most expensive part of this repair. The drive belt, that's the number there. 225049-1. That costs around €15. Hook it on the big one first. Make sure it's on the poly teeth. And just rotate it while it's pushing down. And that's it. The other half of this now. Again, we'll just get this in position. Fix that a little bit. Make sure it's facing the other way from this one. It doesn't matter which way this goes on. Slide the 2 halves together then. The centre should go into this bearing. Don't tighten them up yet. Get this screw tightened up first. So it's going to be a washer on there. Then your flat washer, the smaller one, and a replacement screw too. Now, this is a Bosch countersunk screw, but should do the same job. A little bit longer, but I don't think that should matter too much. Tighten her up. Doesn't need to be super tight. Just needs to hold. It's just stopping that bearing from coming out, but the rubbers in this as well will also help. And this is just a nut then because of the top to make sure that bearing can't drop out. Now, get in there. Now there still is another job to do with this. The lead needs to be changed. It's not essential, it's not in for it, but can't leave it out of here with it hanging off like that and split. Last little thing on here, little levers here, little plastic rings, just make it easier to press them. Nothing wrong with the brushes, there's no point in changing them. Plenty of meat on them. They're actually not that far off being brand new. There goes the brush holder. As well, these old ones, brush caps. You know, it's a good old one whenever you turn it over. And it's got a spare slot on it. Modern ones are just one-sided. Once you strip them out, you replace. The old Makita ones, once you strip them out, you just flip it over. Keep on going. Now the lead's easy to change in these, or at least easy to access. I'll give that a wee quick blowout as well. And it needs a new cable guard as well, or cable grommet. That's the capacitor too. Yeah, it's not gone, just the base come off. If there's anything wrong with it, just cut it out. You don't really need it now. A big industrial switch in these as well. Not a little light plastic thing. Now, get rid of that. Just need a lead with 2 eyelets on it. I think that's right. Make sure you put them to the right position. That's on. So when it's on, you actually see the word down here. When it's off, you see it up here. So that should be right. So that bit. Run those leads underneath. Now, new plug, lead, grommet, bearings, belt. One other thing before I forget. Just tighten up this clamp. It's quite important to tighten it up because if you don't, your base won't be square. You can actually set this base on wrong. If you don't set it on right, it'll bounce and rattle off the paper clamps here. So make sure you tighten up that other screw. Put it down flat. Make sure it's all the way in. Make sure you're getting to the right screw. And tighten up that other band. That's better. Should be sitting nice and square. See how that runs now. Hopefully like a new machine. Listen to that. Lovely job. You're not going to get a more heavy duty industrial sander than that there. They were the job. Built like a tank and able to last 30 years of work. Fantastic machines. Only thing you ever needed was bearings, brushes, belt, maybe a plug. Obviously, new foam pad every now and again. This one is a wee bit worn, but customers never say anything about it, so I'm not going to bother changing it yet. Don't know if I have one in stock anyway, so leave it at that for now. One Makita 9045N half-ounce sander. The proper heavy-duty one. Anyway, folks, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Give us a wee like and a follow as always if you're enjoying the teardown videos. Cheers!